Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's SIIA Tech Chats. I am joined today by Paul Anello. Paul is with Accenture. He's a managing director and a global commercial management lead for Accenture's product and platforms group. Paul, thanks so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks, Rihanna.
So I want to talk a little bit about Accenture's evolving into kind of the new space with all their investments in IP and so forth. Because traditionally, Accenture has been known as a services company, spanning strategy, management, consulting, digital, etc. But you guys, with all your significant investment in IP, that's changed a bit into where you're selling products and platforms and monetizing that IP. Can you talk a little bit about any challenges, both internally and externally, as you pivot in this direction?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. I mean, I've been around Accenture a good number of years, and you're right. Our roots are still in the services business, but we're always looking, in the mirror and saying, how can we do better for our clients? What more can we put in our arsenal to drive transformational change for our clients? And what we found is that, where in the old days, PowerPoints and frameworks and methodologies were good enough, and clearly the talent of our people, it's just not enough in today's world. There's a battle for IP going on. You have to be able to sort of, I always say, not just talk the talk, walk the walk. If we're talking about our innovation-led and high performance-led agenda, can we actually come with hard IP, actual code, actual products and platforms, and be able to bring those to our clients in a way to unlock that transformation sooner with less risk to get the clients on their journey? And that's really how it started. Now, internally, it was a challenge. And again, being a consultant myself and in the prior part of my career, consultants kept asking me internally, well, what's the difference? We are supposed to be differentiated. Well, the difference, again, is the hardened IP, right? And it's how you position and sell it. It's not a custom job anymore. It's not the client, you tell me what to build, I'll build it based on what your needs are. It's really trying to find that greatest common denominator amongst our clients and then bringing that hardened IP to the table. Now, also internally, it gave us a chance, and we are running a business, to find other ways to generate revenue. That we need to do that. We need to do that to be able to invest the money you talked about, which is quite significant. And we had to unlock the hours times rate trap. At some point, to get the explosive growth that our investors are looking for, that quite frankly we need to deliver for our own employees in order to reward them. When you bring IP to the table, you can monetize it. You can actually gain and generate additional revenue. Now, you've got to be able to tell the value story, of course. We don't get paid for nothing. But it was really important that we introduce another way to generate revenue. And that ultimately got people excited internally. And the last part is organizationally. Our group, Accenture Products and Platforms, we need to be able to tell clients we had experts who knew how to do this. It wasn't just a bunch of consultants running around 3-6-month assignments, and then masquerading as commercial-based or industrial-strength software. And so we do have a separate group that focuses on this with a separate career model where we can not only retain but also attract true product and platform engineering capabilities that are required to be able to deliver on this promise for our clients.
So how are software commercials changing and adapting to the rapidly changing as a service landscape?
Well, I'd say right now, one of our biggest challenges we see is the move to as-a-service models. That's one of the challenges. Clients, if you hear the war stories about, the last time I bought software 15 years ago, I got convinced to buy racks and racks and tons of user-based subscription models, whatever, and it's sitting on my shelf, the old shelfware dilemma. Many an CIO or CTO could maybe point to that as being a problem because they were convinced they needed all this capacity, and at the end of the day, they never really used it. It was a drain on their capital investments for sure. So, how do you come up with more creative pricing and commercial models that allow for more of this utility-based type consumption that clients are looking for in a way that there's still a predictive level of revenue that we can depend on, but on the other hand, allow the clients to flex. And not only just flex, but flex with key performance indicators that are tied to their business. Users can get pretty boring at times. Now, there's certain software it makes sense, but when we really try to focus on many of our industry vertical, deep vertical solutions, it's finding the right KPIs that can tie to the business drivers so our client can more directly see cost versus value. I think the other thing is innovation. And you hear a lot about Accenture's, innovation agenda. Well, it's really important because maintenance, again, another one of these old mindsets. Well, I have to buy maintenance, it's bug fix. Okay, in the first year or two, you call up the help desk a bunch of times and you do get some value. And after that, the software's stable and you're waiting for the enhancements, the next versions. And a lot of companies, it never comes, right? It's that promise. So we have to come up with more innovative ways that gives us the flexibility to still control our roadmap, but to be able to really show differentiated innovation, whether it's industry-led innovation, to face the greatest challenges our clients have out there, or technological innovation, right? To be able to show to clients that it's worth paying maintenance and that, quite frankly, we should have high enough quality software that you're not calling the help desk that much. And really the value you should get out of that maintenance stream should be to keep you at the leading edge amongst your competitors in terms of your technological capabilities. And I think that's probably one of the second biggest thing. And then lastly, service levels. We've got to take more risk. I get pushed many times in client negotiations about, this sounds very one-sided, right? What are you going to do to put skin in the game? Because I know that if your software goes down, I'm out of business. In the insurance industry, I can't book premium. Or, for trade promotion management and consumer goods space, right? I can't run one of my largest marketing, and go to market campaigns. In the meantime, Accenture, you're just saying I'm going to give best effort. So I think we're pushed a lot more these days to put more skin in the game. Again, balancing risk with our clients, but to show that we're more committed than ever to their success.
So what is your view of the largest commercial risk to the products and platform industry today? And what do you, or in the near future?
Well, a few things. As we move to everything being cloud-based, the Internet of Things, more connected, more unconnected devices, it introduces, I think, exponentially more risk to our customers, and customers need to have the confidence that we are testing our software. We're doing the right level of penetration and vulnerability testing. We're doing application level testing, enterprise level testing, that we can give them the confidence that they can distribute technological capabilities to the clients in the handheld devices and of all of our phones and tablets and everything else in a way that there's a level that they're protected. And more importantly, our customers' customers are protected. When you think about, the push now on data privacy and data protection, we see right now, industry-wise, we're all in the middle of the changes coming out of Europe. The global data protection regulations that go into force more around May of 2018, more than ever. And we're seeing, and Europe's taking the lead right now. What are we doing about the consumer? What are we doing about their data privacy? What are you doing with the data? On one hand, data is king. We know everything that's going on in the space when you look at predictive analytics and the rest. But how is that data being distributed? Who is it being distributed to? How is it being anonymized? How is it being protected? So on one hand, clients know we need this to make our products and platforms better, but ultimately they need to have the confidence for their end customer that they know whose data, and what data is in the hands of the ultimate product and platform providers. So I really think that that's probably, the next biggest challenge. And then lastly, a space we're getting into right now is when you look at artificial intelligence and robotics. And I will tell you, it's one of the areas that I'm myself, I feel like I'm constantly learning with Accenture, even though being here so many years. One level of robotics is just straightforward automation. Okay, well, here's a rule set. Automate that rule set, fine. But where it really gets interested is when you start talking about, the self-learning. I always say the robots that are learning out there. And as they get smarter and smarter, and they're learning from our clients, their best practices, their secret sauce. Well, what are we doing to manage, contractually and commercially, those robots? Not only their performance, and what if they make the wrong decision? And that decision somehow has a disastrous impact on our client, but also how can I harvest what they've learned to make my artificial intelligence and robotics offering and platforms more rich, but in a way that is not all of a sudden a backdoor for me for pulling out that secret sauce and that strategic advantage from our clients. It's a very fine line. We talk a lot about, well, is this, or the principles we have to introduce are a lot like our services practice, where we have to allow our consultants to get smarter and go from client to client, right? Or is it more about some kind of software product or software platform. And it's a very delicate dance we're playing right now in the early days as we look to our clients to license a lot what we're doing in this, one of our most exciting spaces as we pivot to the new. And it's going to keep me on my toes. I don't have all the answers right now. I'm not sure if anybody who sits in my shoes right now has it, but it's probably one of the more exciting things that are really challenging us, again, to find that right balance between running our business in a commercially responsible way, but also delivering value and delivering our confidence to our clients that they can operate their business in a very safe, a very protected, and at the end of the day, though, high-performing manner.
I think those are all key. Paul, thank you so much for your time and insights today. For more information on Accenture's products and platforms group and SIA, you can visit our websites and tune in next week for SIA Tech Chats.